It's the Brick Wall on NSTV. Tonight, we have a short video from Teen TV. Comedy from Mary Beth Barone. Plus, we look back at our favorite musical guests of the past year. But first, your host, Peter Coleman. Thank you so much, Disembodied Voice. I am Peter Coleman, and this is The Brick Wall, a show that is constantly keeping viewers on their toes with format changes, literally insane guests, and that one time we had full frontal nudity. We're like the Game of Thrones of Long Island. And if you want to make sure you never miss a beat, well, then all you have to do is follow us on social media at NSTV Brick Wall. Now, to make sure you can watch us anytime we're live, follow NSTV Long Island on the YouTubes. You can also follow me at Peter Brian Coleman on Instagram and at Peter B. Coleman on Twitter. Just watching not enough for you? Do you want to get in on this action and come down here and tell jokes or serenade us with music? Or do you have a short film you'd like us to showcase? Well then, email nstvbrickwall@gmail.com and we can make that happen. All right, let's get down to business. Our first story for today: former richest man in the world, Bill Gates, just bought his first electric car. No, not a Tesla. Gates opted for a Porsche Taycan. Yeah, I know. It has a subtle charm. Humble. Anyway, even though Gates had originally praised Tesla and company founder Elon Musk for pushing the production of electric vehicles, he still opted for a competitor, sparking a, well, fairly bitchy tweet from Musk. Yeah. TBH, I applaud your passive aggressiveness, good sir, but I'm just not satisfied, though. Look at Bill Gates. Dude looks like he shops at JCPenney bargain aisle. The khakis, the practically dad loafers. The man is a few days away from Velcro and he buys a Porsche? I find myself asking, why? Could it be that it's because Elon Musk is on track to top Jeff Bezos as the world's richest man? Okay, claws out. 2 years ago, Bezos surpassed Gates as the world's richest man, and it must have come as a mighty blow after spending well over a decade on the top spot to be toppled by the CEO of Amazon. Oof. Now, with Tesla absolutely crushing the stock market, Musk can potentially earn $100 billion in this year alone. That's what we at the Brick Wall call topical humor. My theory: Gates doesn't want to give Musk a fighting chance. First, he buys a competitor's electric car. Then he goes on a national interview and speaks strongly on the drawbacks of electric vehicles to simply get the consumer second-guessing their investment in alternative transportation altogether. Now, right now, electric cars make up just 3% of all car purchases in the U.S. Maybe, just maybe, billionaires are just as petty as the rest of us, and Gates doesn't want to drop one more ranking on the list of richest people alive. Oh, poor rich bastards. And speaking of billionaires, Democratic presidential nominee and 14th richest man in the world, Mike Bloomberg, has been gunning for your support in the 2020 election because the nation is fed up with an old rich white man as commander-in-chief. The answer to our problems is obviously an older, richer, whiter man. But don't let his age fool you. At 78 years young, he's pretty hip. Or at least he wants you to think he is. Apparently, the former mayor of New York City has a trick up his sleeve for reaching the youth. Memes! Of course! Memes, you diabolical bastards! In an effort to appeal to the largest number of legal voters out there, we're looking at you millennials, Gen Z, Gen X. Bloomberg has been looking to corner the meme market. In fact, his campaign has enlisted the help of Fuck Jerry, a popular meme page made famous by stealing comedians' jokes and repackaging them as their own. Oh, and of course, being the advertising agency responsible for selling so many passes to the cursed Fire Festival. Why wouldn't he want to put his advertising in their hands? Team Bloomberg has been sliding into the DMs of other meme accounts asking for some content and offering money. And that just makes me so... God, all I gotta say is, yo, Bloomy, listen, if you want to toss some of that cheddar my way, I wouldn't mind posting something to the Brick Wall account, dog. Oh, shoot, just got a notification here. Let me see. It's, it's a message from Bloomberg. Hey, that's pretty cool. Hey, it's NSTV Brick Wall. It's your boy Bloomberg. I'm trying to make myself look cool to the younger crowd, so if you could please not post anything with my name on it, that would be litty. I'll make it worth your while. Check your Venmo, Mike Finna Get It Done 2020. I don't actually know what half of those words mean. All right, well, moving on. We all know airline travel is not the most glamorous. Companies are charging more and cramming more and more people into economy class than ever before. And with less and less space available, a fierce debate has broken out and the people are divided. Should people be allowed to recline their seats? Well, one Twitter user uploaded a video of a fellow passenger's retaliation after she decided to recline her seat. Let's take a look. Now, as you can see in the video, the man behind her is repeatedly punching her headrest. Yikes. And to make matters worse, the woman asked for a flight attendant's assistance with the assault, and the best they could do was offer the man a cocktail for his troubles. For his troubles! That's like a dad at a Little League game ruthlessly taunting the 8-year-olds on the other team and being rewarded with a free hot dog. And you know that if this guy was anything but white, they would have sicked the bloody air marshal on him to throw his ass out the plane. I want to open this up to the viewers at home. Should people be allowed to recline their seats while in flight? Comment your opinion below. I mean, the seats do recline after all, right? Now, in response to this kerfuffle, the CEO of Delta Airlines chimed in with his opinion. Ed Bastian was quoted as saying, "Everybody has the right to recline their seats, but I think that the proper thing to do is that if you are going to recline into somebody, you ask if it's okay first and then you do it." Ah, yes, because that is a notion this nation has been able to come to grasp very easily. Consent. Worth noting that he said, ask first then do it, and not, if they say it's okay, then do it. He went on to say that personally he does not recline his seat. But I have to wonder, when's the last time this guy flew economy? They were probably still pinching stewardesses' asses in the smoking section back then. Delta Airlines has also been toying with the idea of reduced recline seats, or seats that don't even recline at all. And yet another airline manufacturer has been toying with a totally new concept of seat design entirely. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, oh, baby, that's right. Seats that face each other. Boy, oh boy, and you were worried about the coronavirus before. I don't know about you, but I would rather hitchhike my way truck stop by truck stop to Middlefuck, Nebraska than ride on this social experiment from hell. I may get murdered, but at least I'd be facing forward and die with dignity. Forget passive-aggressively punching someone's headrest. With a setup like this, if someone does something to offend you, you can either kick them right in the dick or just cough on them. But again, I want to ask you, the viewer, your opinion. What would you rather do than fly on Outbreak Airlines? That's right, Outbreak Airlines, where all our viruses are airborne. And now I'd like to introduce a segment new to the Brick Wall, made by some of the talented young kids in NSTV's youth program. Here is Vibe Check.
You know what that means! Vibe check! Today we have our special guest, Brendan Slattery. Come over here, come here.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm so glad to have you. Today we're going to be asking you a
Oh,
series of questions. We're going to ask you a series of questions.
Okay.
There are going to be some pretty difficult questions.
Okay.
Pretty difficult.
Okay.
And you're going to have to answer them as best as you can. At the end, we're going to check your vibe.
And we're going to write them all down on our notepad.
Here you go.
On our notepad.
A trusty notepad, all right? And then at the end, we're going to check your vibe.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
Question
on
one.
the most hardness scale, of course.
Question one. What is your favorite color?
Get the tongue.
Chartreuse.
All right. What day of the week is it?
I think it's Saturday.
Saturday, ladies and gentlemen.
Today.
Should carry the two.
Oh, carry it. All right. Yes, square. All
And
right.
it's an island, so plus two.
Okay.
All right.
Favorite color?
That was question one,
Yeah.
right? Purple.
Again.
All right. What's the electron configuration of aluminum?
I believe it's 16, 42, 8.
Get the tongue. So wrong.
Doesn't sound right.
Not looking good.
What's your favorite subject at school?
Lunch.
All right. Write that down. All right. What is the third letter in the Egyptian alphabet?
Oh, God. P.
All right. Write that down.
Who was the 16th president?
Barack Obama.
Who was the 45th president?
Was that William Taft?
Yeah.
Who will be the 75th president?
Gosh. Jojo Siwa.
All right.
One final question.
One final.
How many arms are there in all of humans combined?
Okay. 3.
All right. Let's add this up.
All right.
This is not
I'm
looking
the
good.
math expert. All
This
right.
is not looking good. So just
3
Okay.
plus
Just
3
break-
equals
oh.
33.
you have to use quadratic formula.
Oh yeah, b
Plus
negative
one,
b
yeah.
plus or minus
Square root b squared.
b squared
Four-
minus
minus
4
4 is over 2a.
b or ac,
AC over 2a.
a.
Oh my
Is
god.
it looking good?
That's not looking good.
You got to foil.
All right, then the Pythagorean theorem, I'll foil. You're right.
All right, just.
All right, a
just
squared plus b
keep
squared
an
equals
open
c
mind.
squared.
Oh, okay.
All right, gotta draw
That's the answer.
Gotta draw the funny face.
All right,
All
who's just
right.
in?
I hate to tell you this, but your vibe is at negative 14 gigahertz.
Yes. Let's go. Is that good?
That's
The
not
opposite
good.
of good. That's
Thank
very
you for
not
watching
good.
Vibe
Thank
Check.
you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
This has been Vibe Check, everyone.
It's been an honor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's been an honor.
Thank.
One day, one of those talented young men is going to violently usurp me to take over hosting duties of the Brick Wall, just as the prophecy has foretold. And I will just be so darn proud. Good job, kids. Up next, we have a clip from Brick Wall fave Mary Beth Barone with some jokes. Check it out.
Hi everyone. It's my It's my first time doing stand-up in a parka, so I'm pretty excited. Hi, so my name's Mary Beth, and I'll be honest with you right up top. I'm from Connecticut, and I was raised Republican. Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. She's a racist. But I'm actually not racist because, one, I'm not Republican anymore. Thank you, Reformed. And two, I don't judge people by the color of their skin. I judge them by their clothes. But there is one group of people that I feel is kind of bringing us all down. Because they came here uninvited, they took advantage, and then they never left. And I'm talking about white people. because white people are terrible. And I'll tell you why. It's because, at least with other races and ethnicities, you can do cool shit, right? You can break down barriers, defy the odds, exceed expectations. For white people, it's our sole purpose in life just to make other white people jealous. Which is why we invented the hashtag white people problems, so we could brag and complain at the same time. Just two things white people love to do. And like I said, I'm from Connecticut, so I know a lot of wealthy people. And they're not all bad, just most of them. Yeah. Like sometimes you'll forget they're super wealthy and you'll be talking to them and they'll say something like, ugh, the GPS in my Maserati sucks. It's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Or you're at a party and there's a blonde girl passing out cocaine and she's like, the first time I went to the grocery store, I was so scared. I was a freshman in college. And like at home, we just had people to do that for us. It's like, wow, where do you find your strength? And, you know, we don't deal with discrimination or oppression. Like, the biggest struggle white people face as a group is splitting the bill after a meal with 5 people or more. It's like once that little white piece of paper comes out, all your friends forget how to do basic math. They're like, 12 plus 3? I don't know. And like, what even is tax? And then you have the one friend who says, well, I only ate half my entree, so I shouldn't have to pay as much. That's our major strife, is dinner with friends. And as a white woman of privilege, the worst thing you can say to me is that you have a secret and then not tell me what it is. It's pretty much as bad as it gets for me personally. And I was with my brothers this summer driving to Queens, and we were talking about Hampton's traffic in the jitney. And my brother made a good point. He was like, the jitney is just a name white people came up with so that they wouldn't have to call it the bus. And that got me thinking, white people are actually pretty good at sugarcoating things. Like, have you ever noticed how anytime a white person has diarrhea, they'll call it food poisoning? It's like, you don't have poisoning, okay? The word poison used to mean something. You have diarrhea. We don't have to talk about your diarrhea. But don't slander my favorite restaurants just because you need a euphemism. And white people are responsible for a lot of terrible things. Like, because of us, The Big Bang Theory has been on for 9 seasons. And I have to say, the worst subgroup of white people has to be white men. And I'm sorry. I know they struggle too. Like, they get pit stains and they orgasm really easily. And that's tough for them. But it does seem like the bad ones just get worse as they get older. Like, I think it's really hard when a white man hits the age of 40 for them not to be creepy and annoying. And if you don't believe me, please join me as a guest at my parents' yacht club. That's where the white men go to drink rum punch and make their friends' daughters feel uncomfortable. And I'm always wondering, like, why are the men in the Viagra commercials always smiling? Like, you can't get boners anymore. What are you so happy about? You're not fooling anyone. They're smug even in impotence. It's quite impressive. It's the women in those commercials who should be smiling. They're like, yes, we made it. No more boners. And it's been an adjustment for me doing stand-up and talking openly about sex and things like that, because I was raised Catholic. And there's a lot of guilt there, of course. And we were very religious growing up. We went to church every Sunday. And I even taught at a Bible camp one summer. But then I quit because I felt bad lying to children. You know, because God doesn't exist or whatever. And in Catholic school, they taught us abstinence-only education. And that uses the word education very loosely because that implies that you learn something. Mostly they just told us that if you have sex before you're married, you'll go to hell. And as a 12-year-old, hell sounded pretty bad. It sounded like an imminent threat at the time. So for 8 years, I was confidently waiting till marriage. And it was nice being able to say no to guys, you know, because they don't hear that very often. And I was like, if Jessica Simpson can do this, so can I. But then I met a guy, and we started dating. I thought we were going to get married. I lost my virginity. And then when I became single again, I realized I'd made a huge mistake. Because being a virgin is the best excuse not to have sex with someone. In fact, guys would usually just ask me to leave. Nothing packs a punch like saying I can't have sex with you, I'm a virgin. And that's probably why the second guy was able to convince me so easily. I was like, I can't have sex with you. I've only had sex with one person. And he was like, but you're really pretty. And I was like, well, that checks out. The third guy didn't even tell me first. He just stuck it in. And that's called surprise sex. Or rape if you're looking it up in the dictionary. But it was kind of my fault. Like, we were making out and I wasn't wearing underwear, and I moved my hand away from the hole for like a second. So I could see why he was confused. I was just generally poorly prepared. And for my brothers, it was different. Not necessarily better, but definitely different, because their sex ed was taught by priests. But it's not what you think. The priest would, in my brother's class, he took egg whites and put it in a container, and he passed it around to all of them and had them dip their fingers in. And he said, this is what it feels like when a woman is ready. If you have sex with a woman when she feels like that, she will get pregnant. And that's like close, but not exactly true, right? It's better than nothing, maybe. But that's kind of what you get when you have priests teaching teenage boys about sex. That's like having Bill Cosby come in and teach them about consent. Like, they both have an idea of the concept, but not from personal experience. And what they definitely drove home as like a major point is that sex is to be had for one reason and one reason only, and that's to make children. And that would be pretty limiting for someone like myself, because I don't think I want kids. And it's not that I think having kids will ruin my life. Like, I'm more concerned about ruining theirs. Because I know I'm just going to like project all of my issues onto them. And I know this because my siblings have kids and I'm already doing it. Like, I'm super jealous of my niece because she's so young and beautiful and skinny. I just want to shake her and be like, you'll never be this thin again. She's 8, but I feel like she should know. And when you say you don't want kids, people are so quick to tell you that you're going to change your mind. They're like, well, if you never have kids, you'll never know what it's like to love someone more than you love yourself. And I'm like strangely okay with that. Like, I'm good. And I feel like there's a lot of reasons not to have kids. Like, have you ever tried to hold a baby and text? It's almost impossible. And texting is a huge part of my life. And I also like how easy it is to fill out tax forms. You just put zeros in all the boxes. Like, I'm not really sure I'm ready to give that up. And I don't know what a dependent is, but it sounds expensive. And if I stay in this line of work, children won't be an option, obviously, because comics don't really make a ton of money. But I do have a backup plan if comedy doesn't work out. I can always just be a stripper, at least for a few more years. And I'm lucky that as a woman, I even have that option. You know, there's no industry where a man can walk in at any intelligence level and just get a job, except for finance. That's my time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, my lovely audience.
All right. And now for our final segment tonight, we offer you this brick wall retrospective with some of our favorite musical guests from throughout the past year. Enjoy.
And that is all on the screen at PATV Brick Wall. Now, I know you want to see Janice and crew. You can't do that yet, because first we're going to give you a little something and a little video.
Far away in the land of fortune, with the girl I used to know. She was very willing and able to let her past go. But let me tell you, she walked for miles down a side street with a stranger picked her up. She saw by the light of that old Chevrolet that he was more than enough. She knows that her case don't hold much water. She always knew more than that. gonna drive you mad. Oh, let her down. Let her down easy. Let her down. Let her down easy. You gotta love yourself first. For you it's so no worse. Let her down. Let her down easy. Let's take it, baby. Let her down, let her down. Let her down, let her down. Let her down, let her down. Down easy. Let me tell you about it. Summer days pass the time away. Everyone know they're moving in line. She's working hard for her degree. In the end, she'll do just fine. She'll move out the country for a B2C. Somewhere where there's warm air and a cool breeze. And in the end, she's happy. So the story goes, remember her on down the dark old road. Oh, let her down. Let her down easy. Let her down. Let her down easy. You gotta love yourself first. For you it's so no words. Let her down.
Stitch, the number 8, the number 1.com. Check it out. Hey. Classic Everdeen, District 81, the rebellion of the underdogs and the unsung. Cities are catching fire, signaling us to come. The revolters in full swing, check the cry of the war drum. See, y'all sit around and carp about economic costs, welfare, and how the careless need to be thrown off. How no funding for education's leaving our children lost. Sitting down eating cupcakes in front of the soapbox. So when it's time to do something more than watch love and hip hop, the excuses start to surface like ants in a sand lot. Truly lunacy, I will not sit by or stand watch you finger point at the kettle with chard in your pot. Bring something to the table, add something to the crops other than negativity and condescending remarks. So quick to destroy others for doing what you not. Those who can't do should teach you. Shut the fuck up and watch. I've had it up to here with complaints and no contribution. Problem with no solution, still a problem. Doofus, classic Everdeen. The rebellion of the underdogs and the unsung. Cities are catching fire, signaling us to come. The revolters in full swing, check the cry of the war drum. Classic Everdeen, District 81. The rebellion of the underdogs and the unsung. Cities are catching fire, signaling us to come. The revolters in full swing, check the cry of the war drum, yeah. Check the cry of the war drum. The revolters in full swing, check the cry of the war drum, yeah. Check the cry of the war drum. The revolters in full swing. If you sick of the repetitive ramblings of the chronicle tales of drug peddling, gunshots that ring out like heavy metal over dumb wrists that even kids could easily settle, then we indeed have hope and God bless you. Pass it around, let's proceed with progression. If it ain't worth dying for, why fight for it? Gangbanger was a bright idea, misdirected. Your people, land, culture protected, but fight the powers that be, not your brethren. All these unwritten tax laws, BS bylaws, get your sharpies and cry long, picket and protest it. Camp out in their backyards until they get the message. Once freedom is seized, there will be no leverage. It's more evident now than ever. It's now or never, and right now is a time for taking extreme measures. Yeah. Yeah, they call me Classic Everdeen, District 81, the rebellion of the underdogs and the unsung. Yeah, check the cry of the war drum. Yeah. And I'm sick of all the garbage they tailor us towards the wants of the world to deprive knowledge. Take from you and yours and then tell you to pay homage. Tell you who you are, put an X next to what you signed it. Looking for a thief, scratch a lie, you'll find it. If you really believe your life's yours, you're blinded. We're all bleeding the clock, just a matter of time. Condition to hate ourselves, destruction starts in the mind or we don't survive. Strong plant and grind, the innocent die young while the wicked run wild. Wars and rumors of wars, lies upon lies. Some sleep, others too terrified tries to open their eyes all week for the generation that wants to come through desensitization. Ruin is sure to come. Let you eat out they palm to keep you under they thumb. What you gonna do about it? Go vote when November comes. I'm Classic Everdeen, District 81, the rebellion of the underdogs and the unsung. Cities are catching fire, signaling us to come. The revolt is in full swing. Check the cry of the war drum, yeah. Check the cry of the war drum. The revolt is in full swing. Check the cry of the war drum, yeah. Check the cry of the war drum. The revolt is in full swing. Classic Everdeen, District 81, the rebellion of the underdogs and the unsung. Stitch 81, classic. Don't forget the classic. Do right and keep it classic. You already know. If you don't know, now you know.
Now you found yourself a good girl, wanna love you and give you the world. You're my fine honey, you've been misused. Come to me, honey, I'll do what you choose. I want your love. I'll tell mama all about it. I'll tell mama, what do you need? Tell your mama, Belle, what do you want? Tell your mama, Belle, what do you need? What do you want? What do you need? What do you want? Wow! Make everything alright. And you said you had no sense still. Wasn't worth all the time that you spare. You're my fine honey, you've been misused. And it all that you stole your clothes. I'll tell mama all about it. I'll tell mama, what do you need? Tell your mama, Belle, what do you want? Tell your mama, Belle, what do you need? What do you want? What do you need? What do you want? Wow! Make everything alright. Oh, rock and roll! Wasn't worth all the time that you spent. You're my fine honey, you've been misused. Come to me, I'll do what you choose. I want your love. I'll tell mama all about it. I'll tell mama, what do you need? Tell your mama, Belle, what do you want? Tell your mama, Belle, what do you need? What do you want? What do you need? What do you want? Anything I can do, anything I can do for you. I'll be your mother, baby. Oh, mother, baby. Oh, mother, baby. Oh, mother, baby.
Alright, so this is a Halloween song. It's written for anyone who grew up during the 90s, myself included. 3, 2, 1, go. On a little road trip down to the cabin. 5 teens in a station wagon. We got the jock who never stopped bragging, but the fine bitch in the back is banging. And thirdly, actually, could we turn the volume up a little bit? Sorry, I can't really quite hear it. Restart it. My bad, folks. I could be able to hear the music, right? Take 2. Three, 2, 1, go. On a little road trip down to the cabin. 5 teens in a station wagon. We got the jock who never stopped bragging, but the fine bitch in the back is banging. And thirdly, get the virtuous virgin to burst to the urge of a certain insertion. Nerd in the backseat, he's flirting with her, though he knows that it won't be returning. 5th spot occupied with a stoner, packing the bowl, never really grown up. Holds up, joint rolled as they pull up. No idea that they already so fucked. There's a killer in the woods with a hatchet, batshit. Escape the straitjacket. Don't you know that it's hazardous to step on the scene of a slasher flick? Seems so peaceful till a killer reap a whole cheek full of people. Somehow we defeat the evil and it all seems calm till we get to the sequel. Seems so peaceful till a killer reap a whole cheek full of people. Somehow we defeat the evil and it all seems calm till we get to the sequel. Y'all know the whole song and dance. Sluts in the jock pulling down his pants. Snakes and axe to the back in the back of the van. Round 1, down 1 for the cast. Jock survives, thirst for revenge. Everybody else shitting in their deep ends. No, we get to the argument sequence when they ask if he's gone off the deep end. No service, phones won't resend. Is it a prank, a performance, a pretend? Fuck that, focus on the defense. It gets an ending that's less than decent. Someone sips off for a second to get high and ends up with a machete in his left eye. Still the kill seem familiar when he steps by. Let's ignore it till he gets to the next guy. Seems so peaceful till a killer reap a whole cheek full of people. Somehow we defeat the evil and it all seems calm till we get to the sequel. Seems so peaceful till a killer reap a whole cheek full of people. Somehow we defeat the evil and it all seems calm till we get to the sequel. Killer in the house now, 1v2, already edgy. Run from the room, out to the dusk in the dark and the gloom. On a course for the force, close to their doom. Jock goes first, say the girl for the last. Killer got skills so he vanish in a flash. Take advantage of the land, every trail and pass. Hound them, found above the sound of their gasp. Now it's time for the gross ad sequence. Jock cries out when he's chopped into pieces. Drop the mask, it's the loser, the nerd in the form of a murderous suitor. And he won't shoot her, he's stabbing a bitch while she's struggling, gasping, grabbing a brick. Swings for his head, bash it to bits. Can't beat the last chick in a slasher flick. Seems so peaceful till a killer reap a whole jeep full of people. Somehow we defeat the evil and it all seems calm till we get to the sequel. Seems so peaceful till a killer reap a whole jeep full of people. Somehow we defeat the evil and it all seems calm till we get to the sequel. Slasher flick. Alrighty guys, that one right there is an ode to all those movies from the 90s. And actually, every slasher flick I've ever seen. Oh man, that's my beautiful stuff. Alrighty, yo, so for our next one, I believe our next one is a story about me. So if we want to transition on into it, I certainly would be opposed. Although this is a fucking fire beat. This is from a guy named Tantu, Tantu. Gotten a couple beats from him, including the next one. But he's a pretty good dude. If anyone out there is looking for beats, guy makes fire.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on the Brick Wall. Just remember to follow our social media at NSTV Brick Wall. And as always, that catchphrase that I always sign off with, that one. Good night. This water's kind of warm.